Just quickly before we get into this week's video, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to all this week's new subscribers. If you do want to join this list, please give me a subscribe. I would massively appreciate it. Thank you very much, and the road to 250, we're well en route. Let me just ask you something. What do you do when it all goes quiet? When emails stop? When views slow down? When motivation starts disappearing? Do you stop? Or do you keep showing up? Because let's be honest, this is a bit what nobody talks about. Everyone loves the wins. Everyone loves the big sales, the progress pictures, the milestones. But what about them weeks when nothing happens? I'm self-employed. I run Edge Sportswear. I'm trying to build content on Man v Life. But I'll be honest, not every week feels like progress. Some weeks you graft and that scoreboard don't change. And I'll repeat that. Sometimes you graft and the scoreboard don't change. And I'll be honest, this week's been one of them weeks. No disasters, no dramas, just quiet. And you know what? Quiet can mess with your head more than a failure can. Because your brain starts saying, maybe it's not working, maybe it's not good enough. Maybe you should slow down, maybe you should start going into safe lane. And you know what? That's the battle. But here's what I've realised. Momentum's not built in the loud weeks, it's built in the quiet ones. Do you know what days when you still send that email and post that video and make that post on Facebook? You still train, you still build, you still improve something. Nobody claps for that bit. But that's the bit that compounds. When you're between 35 and 45, you've got responsibilities, you've got people relying on you, you've got bills, you've got mortgages, you've got all sorts of other outgoings. And it is really easy to settle, it's easy to stay safe. If you've got something pulling at you, like a business idea or something for growth, a fitness goal, or even just a change you want to make, you don't need a big breakthrough, you just need consistency. One thing I've learned, motivation is unreliable. You definitely won't wake up motivated every day. But discipline, that's different. Discipline's a decision, and showing up is a decision. And you know what real mad thing is? If you stay in game long enough, most people around you will quit. And that's the truth. If you can outlast, you can outgrow. And this is me committing publicly. When it's quiet, when I'm losing motivation, and even when it feels like effort with no reward, I'm showing up for Edge, for this channel, for my family, for myself. And you know what? If you've got that quiet season in front of you now, don't quit. Just show up tomorrow. And that's it. It's that simple. And I think if I'm honest, just doing something, no matter how big or small it is, every single day towards your development, I think that is massive in progression. Even if it's just little lists and tick box exercises, just keeping yourself in that sort of zone is crucial. So I'm building this business of mine by doing repeat exercises every day. So it comes to scheduling posts and stuff for content, making sure that goes out at the same time so people are related. Because you know what, as that saying goes, if you throw enough shit, someone it's going to stick. I think problem is with my side of the job, obviously with football kits and stuff, it's a seasonal thing, so it all comes at once. There's nobody. I'm trying to be proactive to try and get things in nice and early so people can set off, but not everybody's like that, especially in grassroots. One thing I am learning slowly is social media, especially YouTube. I'm understanding that a little bit more every day, understanding that people want to see you're consistent, and your content's relatable. And I'm not just talking about any old nonsense. When I do make some content, it is about stuff what I've gone through and what I think will help other people. And what I'm slowly realising is I'm not at the beginning of my journey, I'm not at end goal, I'm in that messy bit in the middle, and that is where most people quit. And I can genuinely see why, because it's frustrating. It's the frustrating part. It's the sending texts and emails and trying to reach out and not getting no response. Even if they just told me to do one, I understand that bit, but it's the hours of silence and no responses coming back. I just don't understand it. Is this a new thing? Is this what the world we're living in now? What I do try to pride myself on is like keeping people in the loop when I'm doing stuff, so when they've got an order coming, trying to be honest with them and transparent, and any issues coming up or any possible issues, trying to speak about that in advance rather than it becoming an issue last thing. It's also weird, I'm done. You feel like you've lost touch. So yeah, if it's one thing I can guarantee you in entrepreneurship, is it ain't all sunshine and rainbows. And I've mentioned previously in other videos that to think that a lot of your friends and family would help and share, just even if it's just a post share or whatever on socials, but they don't, they really don't. And again, I think that's a bitter pill to swallow. It's like they want to see you do well, but not as well as them. It's a strange scenario. And I've got friends what are doing really well at minute, and I'll empower what they're doing, and I'll talk about their journey and how far they've come and how proud you are of like where they've come from. But it's weird, it's very weird. So as you can tell, it's been a bit of a rough week this week, so we are going to keep powering through it. We are trying to look long term and long goal, long game. But yeah, we can't win all the time, and that's what we've got to remember. So yeah, just small business struggles at minute. Not really much more I can say. It's Saturday, it's held off. It's not rained for about 12 hours, so at least there's some positives. So yeah, have a good remainder at weekend, and we'll be back next week, hopefully revitalised and back on it. Operation Dad Bod will be back in full swing next week after 2 or 3 weeks off. Not gained no weight, by the way, but yeah, Operation Dad Bod in full swing next week. So have a good remainder at weekend, and I'll see thee.